Now we're going to see the second kind of action, driver request initiated actions. Here we are going to see LangGraph working in a local environment, my Mac M1, with only 8 GB of memory, which is, I would say, in the limit. It's a bit slow. The only LLM or not so large language model that I could make it work is llama3.2. 3.2. And the nodes of LangGraph, if you have used LangGraph, you will recognize this look of the nodes of LangGraph graph. And the main node is the driver agent. There is an implicit node that is a driver, which is sending the requests. It's talking, and these requests are recognized in the cell phone and sent here. But it's not a node explicit because the LangGraph is not waiting for the driver to say that. It's just working and stops working, and it has a persistence that lets recover the previous information that has been in the same session. And the other node, of course, is the tools node, which is performing the function calling or tool calling, which is accessing the same functions that we have been running in the automatic behavior, but from here. How does it fit with the MADA architecture? Well, we can see it that in the following diagram, in which we have similar to the automatic actions, we have on the left an object detector, which is working at 6 frames per second, is processing images and detecting the classes of interest inside the image. In this case, we are detecting a car, and we are also providing the distance, 4.5. We also have the speed, which is stored like 1 or twice per second in the memory, the same as in the automatic actions, but the difference comes here. We have the LangGraph agent that we have been describing before, the implicit connection with the driver when the driver is talking, and this talk is recognized by in the cell phone and sent to the driver agent due to and uses the persistence of the driver agent, and this driver agent is connecting to the tools node, and in case there is a proper function to do what it's requested, it accesses the function. In this case, it's a bit complicated function. We are going to show it first in the video, more simpler functions. And the answer from the function goes to the driver agent, and then it's processed by the LLM inside the driver agent or small language model, and it provides an output in textual form, which is converted into speech and sent to the driver. Now we are going to see interesting part of the how should you configure functions in order to be accessible to LangGraph. You have to put the decorator tool just after the functions. These are functions that we are going to call in the next video, and these are just the description of the function, which is important for LangGraph to understand what is the function doing. And basically all these functions are just calling the same functions that are used in the automatic way. The same with the get safety distance. Get safety distance is calling the LG at the end means LangGraph, just to distinguish from the real implementation of the function. And I have like 4 or 5 functions defined this way. And thanks to the tool decorators, as I said, LangGraph can build the JSON description of these functions and the parameters and work with it. I was doing this previously without LangGraph, but it was not so robust. So now we are going to see an example in a video. This video will show us an interaction from the driver with the driver agent.
Listen.
By the way, this first keyword, listen, has been recognized by the cell phone, and the output of this listen is a reminder of that you can say exit or quit to finish the session.
Exit or quit to finish session. What is the current speed limit?
What is the current speed limit is the first request that we are doing. In the middle, we are seeing that there are speed events being recorded that come from the cell phone to the driver agent. And now here is the beginning of the generate of the LangGraph working. Okay, I mark it with this text: generate LangGraph driver agent response, and it takes some seconds. It's not real time.
The current speed limit is 50 kilometers per hour.
And now we have the answer in written form. The current speed limit is 50 kilometers per hour, and we also have heard a voice saying that. And the function that has been called is interesting because the function is called get last speed limit. There is a function which is called get current speed that could be mistaken with this one. But since we have the description in the docstring, the small language model, in this case llama3.2 or 3.2, has been able to identify the correct function. And as we see, it's not fast because the answer took almost 7 seconds, and we can proceed the session.
And how fast are we going? We are currently traveling at 58 kilometers per hour.
This is interesting because I intentionally didn't say what's the current speed, because this is very similar to the name of the function, but it said how fast are we going. A really big large language model has no problem to do this, but small language models cannot always understand that how fast are we going should be translated to the function get current speed. In this case, it has been properly done. The last speed before calling the function was 58 kilometers per hour, and this is why it has answered this, that we are currently traveling at 58 kilometers per hour. These are simple functions, but just I wanted to show how the small language model inside LangGraph is working with tool calling or function calling. Next one.
What is the safety distance? The recommended safety distance is 32.2 meters from the vehicle in front of us.
This is interesting because a bit more interesting because the safety distance needs is defined. I can show it here. Safety distance is here and needs the current speed as a parameter, and has a default reaction time, but the current speed is necessary for this. So the persistence allows to understand that it must take the current speed from the previous storage, the 58 kilometers per hour, and for this speed, the safety distance following this function, which is straightforward, is 32 meters. Okay, and we can work a bit more with this function.
What reaction time are you considering? assuming a standard reaction time of 1 to 2 seconds. The recommended safety distance is 32.2 meters to allow for sufficient stopping time.
It considers that the function to analyze is get safety distance again, and the reaction time the default was in fact 2 seconds from this answer here. But now I'm going to ask a thing that it's a bit more interesting.
And what if the reaction time is 3 seconds?
With a reaction time of 3 seconds, the recommended safety distance is 41.7 meters to allow for sufficient stopping time.
Well, this is interesting because, again, the LangGraph and the LLM has understood that it must call again the function that we saw before, get safety distance, with the current speed, but the reaction time should not be the default one, which is 2 seconds, but 3 seconds. So from the previous calculation of 32 meters, now we are going to a calculation of almost 42 meters for the safety distance. It's interesting to see also that for each LangGraph call, we have these memory peaks here, which justify that we are working on the limit with this not so small. It's not so large, but it's not really so small language model. There are peaks of 2 gigabytes in memory, and the computer has only 8 gigabytes in memory, so it's probably working at the limit. Now, next video is really going to show not that simple functions as like get current speed or get safety distance, but this one that it's a bit more useful, and it's calling the functions that we have seen working before. So the video is here. Here we have we are beginning a session, and first we will hear some notifications from the automatic behavior regarding the color of the traffic lights. And then when I say listen, it will enter into listen mode, which means that the system is listening to the driver, and the audios from automatic actions are muted.
Stop. Red traffic light on the left.
Listen.
You can go on. Green traffic light on the right. Say exit or quit to finish session.
As I said, we have entered the session, and now I'm going to in the session I made a request while I was diving.
Are we at a safety distance?
The current safety distance from the vehicle in front is 5.6 meters. You are within the recommended safety distance.
As we saw in the diagram, it's correctly calling the function check safety distance from vehicle. It's not calling this get safety distance, which is in fact is called inside this function. So it's doing the right thing. And the answer from the driver agent is here. It computes the safety distance, compares it to the real distance to the car, which at the time of starting this calculation was 6.3 meters. Since the real distance is bigger or greater than the safety distance, it doesn't warn the driver to reduce the speed, since everything is okay.